Perfect. I think we have everybody. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Again, today's full house. We've got a lot of registrations coming in, a lot of additional registrations coming in. So for those of you that did not make it, this one's for you. So you will get the recording at the end of the session. So there's no worry about missing this masterclass. I know this was a huge one for us. So thank you again for joining. And as always, we'll keep this session really short. We're going to try to make it focused and practical. So over the next 20, 25 minutes, we'll take a look at how customer service and customer experience team can manage social media interactions and public feedback from one support workplace, which is very important. With with this clarity, visibility into the ownership, status, and follow-up. So what does this mean? If this is your first Lucidia masterclass, then welcome, as I said before. These sessions are designed to be super direct, one-on-one, clear idea, ask your questions, and a practical customer perspective, a product walkthrough, and an answer to the questions the teams are already asking. So again, on your right-hand side, you will see the Q&A button. You will see the chat button. Go ahead, ask your questions. Tell us what you need from us. We will make sure that we answer it. My name is Vanja. I am the Product Marketing and Customer Marketing Director here at Lucidia. I'm going to be hosting the session today, but I'm not the star by any means. So I'm pleased to welcome Hind, who is our Customer Success Manager, who will share observations from working with customer teams and the challenges they face when managing social interactions and public feedback. And also Yaser, who is our Product Manager, who will take us through a practical walkthrough of OmniServe and show how teams can view, assign, track, and respond to interactions with clear context. For anyone new to Lucidia, so if you don't know who Lucidia is or what Lucidia does, Lucidia is the agentic CX platform redefining customer experience across enterprise and public sector organizations. So today we'll focus on interaction management workflow inside OmniServe, which is just one of our products, and it's our core product, which basically is the center of the universe across our agentic CX. So the idea is simple. A customer may send a message on Instagram, comment on a post, or leave a public review. For the team, those interactions may appear in different places and require follow-up from different people. You know how you get, I'm going to get Sally to do this, I'm going to get Ahmed to do this, and I'm going to get, my CRM and ERP and all of these things connected to do different things. So without any clear visibility, this becomes harder to know what arrived, who owned it, and what still needs to happen. So today, we'll show you how bringing eligible interactions into one support workplace, depending on connected sources and account configuration, can help teams organize the follow-up and create a more consistent operating flow. So with that said, before we begin, before we hear from him, we'd like to ask you a quick question about how your teams currently follow up on customer interactions across social media and public review platforms. So you will get a poll. Please answer it, and then we'll discuss the poll results. We'll see what came up. So what takes up most of your team's time when managing success interactions or managing customer interactions and public feedback? So moving between platforms, sorting interactions by importance, routing interactions to the right team, following up on what has been handled. Okay, we'll just give a few more moments for people to answer. All right, it seems like there's two particular things that we're focusing on here. So moving between platforms is one. So again, we discussed this in the beginning, and this is why we're having this session, is like you're connecting 1,000 different platforms to one single source of truth, and you're trying to, combine it all and manage it all. And then the second one is following up on what has been handled. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Hind. So Hind, let's start with you. Based on your experience with Lucidia's customers, and what is the biggest challenge you see when a teams manage customer or manage social media messages, comments, public reviews, and all of this separately? And how does this affect day-to-day follow-up?
It's huge the impact that makes having a platform where you can have all your social media, not only social media but other platforms too in one place, because you have full control about what's going on. Second thing, that there's nothing messy in terms of I need to answer maybe the same person to different platforms. So if someone asks me, and maybe you are more than one agent answering these issues, so we are making sure that we are answering the same way to the same person. We know who is getting, who is asking us about whatever the issue they may have faced in that case. The fact that you have a unified platform with all your social media, and you can track and know that you're answering on time, you're not leaving customers unanswered. And I have seen something with my eyes with one of my customers in terms of how they were handling these customers, or this objections or the engagement overall. And it was basically through an Excel sheet where they had the handle names and the answers and the follow-ups, and they have to search the person, and if the person changed their handle or they don't have the account, where they don't have the history, they don't know who got in touch first, which of the agents. So it's so messy to the level that it affects the business, because one of the best ways that you can understand what's going on with your own business is understanding your customers. So if you understand your customers and their issues, you know that maybe we're having 1, 2, 3 issues, and we can handle them by having this data and backed up with who and how many and so on, and sentiment and so on. So Lucidia, in the end, we came to support and understand that, and support and understand the business in terms of what are the issues that they're main facing, how they can handle this. And it came to a level that, to decision making in terms of huge decisions came up with Lucidia when it comes to this issues, what is going on, not only to the level of agents and answering and making sure responding, no, it's to decisions on a business level. So I have seen with my eyes huge businesses that went from manual work to using the platform, and the impact has been huge.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I mean, that's amazing insight. So again, going back to the poll results. So thank you for sharing that perspective. Honestly, and that's actually really eye-opening, because again, if you see it with your own eyes and you experience it and you use it every day, it must be true. So thank you for that. So the poll results showed us that the challenge is not only whether an interaction exists, it is whether the team can see it, assign it, and then understand the next steps, basically. So this is exactly what we're going to explore in the walkthrough. So Yaser, over to you. Let's see how these interactions appear inside of OmniServe and how we can manage and track them more clearly. So over to you, Yaser.
Yep. Thank you, Vanya. Thank you, Hind, and welcome everyone. So, one thing before we start sharing the screen, I just want to reiterate what we discussed earlier, that most of the customer experience doesn't fall short uh, in the channels themselves. It falls short between the channels. So, if we are supporting some specific client or multiple clients, and we have a big team, not a big team, not necessarily, let's say 5 people who's handling marketing and support, handling all of these platforms, let's say 5 platforms with 5 different accounts, with different levels of permissions and accountability, handling this in different platforms on different experiences, this is causing a lot of efficiency to be laid at waste. And also you will be losing a lot of value coverage and overview. And also sometimes some businesses look at some channels as low frequency, but usually it proves that it's low frequency but as a high value. What we do with Lucidia, all of your channels will be treated the same, unless you decide with your conditions to decide that this channel is better than that channel. Also, we will be focusing on agent efficiency and the appropriate handling between team members, and make sure that the assignment goes smoothly. This will, with all of these points mentioned, we will be looking at the how much volume we can handle as soon as possible without jumping between multiple platforms. What are the public stakes that we can uh, handle before it escalates to become a bigger and bigger issue, and also the speed that we can do that and respond to our clients. So I'll start sharing my screen right now to give you a quick overview of the OmniSearch system.
Sure, and like I said in the chat, I think it's the informational gap. So the gap between the different levels of information that a customer can fall through. So it's not just one thing, or it's not just one area. It's okay, I'm going from HubSpot to Zendesk to this and that, and a customer can fall through and never be seen again.
Exactly, yes. So first of all, everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. All right. So for those who are not familiar with us, this is the Lucidia interface. This is the home page. I will jump in directly to the so that here we have the navigation bar. We have the monitors solution. We have the OmniServe, which we will jump in right now. We have the ticket system, which is standalone plus an addition to the OmniServe and the automations solution. So technically, we will just discuss OmniServe and a little bit of tickets today. And so if we come here to the connections, we were discussing that the availability of all the accounts that we have. So if we look here, these are all the channels that we are supporting at the moment to be able to monitor and uh, respond to. So from WhatsApp, Facebook, X platform, Instagram, email, and Google My Business, all of these products are available within OmniServe, and you can respond publicly for Facebook, for example, and for DMs for Facebook, X, and WhatsApp, and so on. But for LinkedIn and TikTok, they are available as a monitor solutions, but TikTok will be available within the upcoming month and a half, while LinkedIn will take until H1 next year. So technically, with these solutions, you can see that there are some businesses who have multiple WhatsApp accounts and multiple accounts on Facebook, multiple presences on a lot of platforms with segregated accounts. Some of them are for marketing, some of them are for business, and some of them are mainly for customer support. So, what we are doing with Lucidia, we allow you to connect all of your accounts across all of these platforms to OmniServe. But before we jump into OmniServe, because of the poll that I've seen, definitely someone might come ask, and can I, for example, set a specific routing items, assign items in a specific way? Definitely keep this in mind. There is an inbound routing and SLAs that you can set up to do whatever routing you want to do based on channels, amount of followers, and so on. Too many filters, but we will not go deeper into that. So, a quick overview here. So this is the OmniServe product. Let's set it to the last 7 days. Here you can see the inbox. We have the analytics and configuration. Technically, we will discuss the inbox and the analytics. So within the analytics, within the inbox, sorry, I will show you, for example, the fragmentation that you might live if you are not using Lucidia as one unification platform for you. So this is a client who has contacted me where using Facebook. So this is a conversation using Facebook. This is another conversation using an email. You can see also like the differentiation in the experience. Here you can get an email experience, sorry, DM experience. Here you are getting the email experience. It's the same as this thread. So whatever we are sending here, we are receiving it in Lucidia, and we can respond to it. Also, we have the public accounts. So we have this account on the on X platform, which has these two public interactions. And with these two public interactions, they are reflected here. One of them is here that I clicked on. It shows here. It requires more details. For example, let's say uh, flight is at 8 p.m. and we can send it. And here, for example, we can see the other uh, com public comment. So if we refresh, here you can see the response that I give, regardless if it's Yaser, Vanya, or anyone or Hind responding, the answer will go out based on the selected person. So this is very good, and it will be pushed out based on the selected account, and it will tell you who did this response. So also we have for some businesses, for people who have uh, furniture stores or some real life stores or restaurants, they are heavily reliant also on Google My Business. So here you can see the Google My Business reviews. Here we can see Ahmed Hani's item, and here we can see it assigned. So for example, I want to assign it to Yaser. So I give it to Yaser here. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed. So something like this. So here you can see even the experience is different because you are only allowed to do one response. If we come here and refresh, it will automatically apply for Ahmed Hani as a response. Can see it reflected here directly. So without like going a lot with all of these items, these are part of the channels that we are serving, but you get the idea that we have multiple experiences gathered in one space in one platform, which allows you to work on these items. For example, let's say that this item, let me show you another feature. So here, this person is requesting via email some help regarding a flight with their work. So the people who's responding might be someone from a marketing team. So what they can do easily, they can come to the ticketing system. It can be filled with AI, but you can, for example, say it's internal ticket, or uh, for Arabic speakers, it's flight disruption. We have English. We can fill it here, and you can assign a ticket to this engagement, and it will appear for the internal users. They can fix it, and it will update for the client. This is using the ticketing system. If we come here, for example, we have another chat. Let's check. For example, we have another one with Ahmed Hani, this one. So Ahmed has multiple interactions with us. What you will be able to see, which you will be blind to, is you will not be able to see what other interactions Ahmed has made with you previously. But in Lucidia, we log these for you and we give them to you in one place. So you can scroll down and check whatever data you have. For DMs, for people who might ask, is it fragmented or back-to-back experience? eh, Whenever you close a ticket, it will go to like this experience. You will have your own items. But previously, if you have previous conversations, you will be able to scroll back and gather more context. And for example, if I want to close this item, I assign it for Yaser. Let's say I want to close it. I have to do this extra requirement fields that my manager, for example, asked me to fill. So extra required data, and for example, this data. And I can do like this, and I can come and complete it with a completion reason. And that's it. The item is gone and went to the completed items. This is in regarding for the inbox and the inbox management. Uh, After that, you definitely, there are some managers, some marketing people, some product support and customer experience managers that they will need to look either daily, weekly, or hourly to see what are the data, what's happened throughout the selected period. So here we have predefined 7 days. You can see all the engagements that we've got, total public engagements, DMs, emails, everything broken down. Then you will be able to see average SLAs across the whole product, across all your channels. You can see, you can have some diagrams that breaks down what you have, what's happening with you, what's happening with the team, to see the activity when it pops up and when it goes down. And you will be able to break, uh, based on routing, as we mentioned at the beginning, you'll be able to see who are the top teams that are getting some specific items, or routings that are getting top engagements, the distribution across data sources, and a lot of engagements data that you can see. After that, you can, if for some people in the support areas, they need to focus on the SLAs and response rates. You can see time complete for completions, first response rates, times, next response, and so on. Even the SLAs that you put, you can see if we are hitting or missing. Here also some extra diagrams, broke down per agent that you have within your team, how they are performing, are they complying with what you provided or not, SLA distribution as well, extra data, and this is it for SLAs. And last but not least, for the agents. So for the agents, you might have 10 people within your teams. You give them permissions to answer like 10 channels. Here you will be able to see the total assigned engagements and agents performance overview. You can see the unique items, unique contacts, who are the new people that are getting to you, the average engagements per contacts, engagements analytics, more in-depth items, reopens, what's happening with the average handling time, and so on. Extra status regarding the agents. Definitely here you can break it down. Also, you can filter it per any agent you have. And you have agent status summary and the distribution based on all of your interactions. I will not take so long. Here you can do some setups in the inbox. We have the saved replies, which if you are a business and you need to take a specific guidelines and to lead based on them and answer based on them, you can upload them here, and your team will be able to select them from the response area. We have the AI assistant. I will not jump on this. You can go see our master classes for the AI classes. Very important. And most of what I'm telling you for human agents, our AI agent is able to handle it. Here you can set up your completion reasons based on whatever engagement you want to close. You can set up your tags. You can create multiple categories. Some of them can be for example standardized, anyone can access them, and some of them can be for QA teams, for example. And you can set up some auto responses, for example, greetings and farewell, where our system will respond instead of you, at least until some of your team members can come in. Farewell surveys, where you can send CSAT satisfaction surveys for your clients, and they can respond to you. You can fill it, and you can set up whatever questions you would love to do here. It can have multiple options. And last but not least, and I showed you this, you can set up your own custom fields regardless of the data type you want to see. And all of these items can be selected as mandatory or not and be attached to each engagement. This is OmniServe in a nutshell. I tried to stay within the 15 minutes time that I have. But if Vanya lets me go, I will keep speaking for multiple hours regarding our features.
That's
So
for
yeah,
sure. That's
that's
for
it.
sure. OmniServe is a huge one. So thank you so much. Thank you both of you. So I think the key message here is the value is not only seeing a new interaction or anything else like that. It's having clearer, much clearer visibility into what should happen next, who owns it, what's the status, what context is available, and whether follow-up is still required. I think that's the main question here, and then that's the main answer that OmniServe can provide. So thank you both for this. I know that we're running a little bit over. We're going to run over time, no matter what. But let's do it. We have a lot of questions coming in. We have a lot of people that have joined us today. So thank you both. So we'll now open up the floor to questions. And again, if you haven't submitted a question yet and you have a question, please use the Q&A box for the questions for your. It's on your right-hand side of the platform. So again, anything that you want to know, anything that you want to ask, use the Q&A box. We'll make sure that you get your question answered. We have a ton of questions today, so I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it 2 and 2. Okay, so 2 for Yaser, 2 for Hind, and then we'll go from there. So question number 1 for you, Yaser. What is the difference between collecting interactions in one workspace and simply monitoring platforms? I think this is a huge one because I mean, anyone can monitor platforms. I can have my AI monitor platforms, but what's the difference between a workspace and a monitoring platform?
Vanya, sorry, you cut off for me. Can you repeat it just to
Of
wrap it
course.
up
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me?
yeah. So
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
yeah. Now it's better.
Okay. So what is the difference between collecting interactions in one workspace and simply monitoring platforms?
Okay. So technically, we have our own monitoring platform, and we can have the monitoring solution. This is the layer where it gives you the ability to see whatever data that you need to see based on all your interactions that you are getting or monitoring without being connected to the specific channel. You can monitor, check what's happening within the market or on your items or your channels. Then at the same time, you can also engage with them. So what we are providing with Lucidia, instead of you jumping multiple analytics on multiple platforms to see what's happening with you, we give you the monitoring solution, which allows you to see what's happening over your brand, and you can connect to OmniServe to start seeing what's happening with the analytics and the engagements. So at that level, you will be able to break down the market level, the account level, and you can break down who is engaging with you and how they are engaging with you and what's happening on that level as well.
Sorry, amazing. I was trying to mute myself at the same time as clicking everything else. I'm trying to get the questions in and then I'm mute at the same time. So thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. So I think the next question will be for Hin. So what is the most important advice for a team starting to organize these interactions? So yeah, Yaser told us what kind of interactions there are. He kind of described them to us, but what is the most important advice for a team starting to organize these from a CX perspective?
Absolutely. Um, Based on also experience with my own clients, I would say that they should start by identifying the interaction types they don't want to miss, basically. So they want to know which sources we want to start with. It has to be very organized and very like one by one. Definition of ownership, SLAs, KPIs, how to follow up. So there's a lot of things we need to first put on the table and organize it before entering. Then look, once we have the interactions, look for the gaps that we are having. Uh, Interactions have been discovered, new interactions, or even interactions late, assigned late, follow up on them slowly. However, making sure the new interactions are being handled properly. So it happens a lot that they have hundreds of interactions not handled before, and once they start using a platform, it gets overwhelmed. Like, where should I start with? I would always recommend to have like two teams: one taking care of the new ones, making sure they're not delayed, and another one taking care of the previous ones or the old ones. It might sound complicated, but in the end, it gets easy and it gets organized. And for future purposes, it's the best thing you can do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hind.
Yes.
Okay. There's another question which is like really amazing here for Yaser. So how can public reviews, and we all know about public reviews. I mean, you see them on TikTok, you see them on Instagram, and everybody's screenshotting them. This is 1 star, this is 5 stars, and then the whole explanation above and below. So how can public reviews support customer service if they are not private messages?
So technically, you having your business, let's say, scattered across multiple platforms. Usually, some businesses they yeah. So technically, sometimes what happens is some people decide that I will not respond to this now. I will respond to it later, and because it's on a public review that it came to us through multiple hundreds engagements, it will be lost and will be forgotten until the person remembers it within like 10. Sometimes you know that within 10 minutes, if the comment was so sharp and so trendy in the words, it can become a public risk for the company itself. So what we are providing here with Lucidia and with the solutions, that we are treating all of the platforms as channels, as one channel. Your customer matter wherever they are, from wherever channel they are coming from. We are providing you with email notifications. We will be coming in the future with the within app notifications, which will push you like this item has been uh, above SLA. You broken your SLA. You need to answer for these people. We are working also on features like if someone has a low CSAT or low public review or low sentiment, you will be notified as soon as possible, and it will enter some high priority items. So we make sure that you are aware of everything is happening with your client, but also we are making sure you are also responding to or you are treating all your clients equally.
Perfect. That makes sense. Honestly, that makes complete sense. So I have one more question, and then we're gonna cut it off because we're like super over time. So anybody that has posed a question, we're gonna get back to you by email. We're gonna make sure we're gonna call you. We're gonna get back to you by email. We're gonna make sure that your question does not go unanswered. So, but we've got close to 14 questions right now. So this one's for you, Hind. How can teams tell whether an interaction has truly been handled? And this is like a super important one because I'm from marketing. So I know that, interactions, they've got to be handled. And it's not just CX, it starts at marketing.
Yes. At Lucidia, we do have a lot of features and tools that will help understanding and knowing that a conversation has been handled. First of all, there is something called routing, where a conversation is being assigned to a certain agent. That agent, there is some SLAs behind it. Everything gets so tracked that if there is any delay of if even the agent that received this engagement needs support from any other from the teams, they can reassign it or they can even open a ticket about it. So every engagement, it's being tracked from A to Z until it's completed. Even if this engagement needs to be blocked for a certain time, we can do that. If this engagement, we have to put a few comments before we reassign it, it's also we can do that. So the engagement, every single engagement, as Yaser before mentioned, it's being tracked and treated equally. So there's no way that we will lose any engagement through Lucidia.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Honestly, both of you guys, amazing answers. And it helps me also because we use Lucidia so internally. So a great talk. Before we close, I know there's still a lot of unanswered questions. We're going to get to those. Like I promised, we're going to reach out to you. We're going to make sure we reach out to you. If I have to reach out personally, we'll do it. Before we close, we'd like to ask you a quick thing. And this is something that really helps us understand whether the session was practical and useful for you. So, based on today's session, and you're going to see a little pop-up on your screen. So based on today's session, how likely are you to recommend this masterclass to a colleague? I know we get a lot of views on YouTube. We get a lot of views on our Knowledge Hub from these masterclasses. So it's been overwhelming. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Hind and Yaser, for showing us your perspectives and taking us through the walkthroughs. The key takeaway from today, I think, is that customers may contact a brand through multiple channels, and there's like unlimited number of channels today, right? But the service team needs a clear way to see the interactions, which is key. And this is OmniServe. So identify its owner, track its status, and make sure that we access the available context before responding. So OmniServe, again, helps teams depending on connected resource or connected sources and account configuration, manage these interactions from one support workplace with clear visibility into ownership, status, follow-up, and response. So if you'd like to explore more how this workflow could apply to your account, please contact your Lucidia customer service manager or request a demo, which will be also in the chat. That will have a link in there. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Yaser. Thank you, Hind. Again, it was a pleasure today, and I hope to see everybody again really soon, probably next month. Who knows what the topic will be.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Vanja.
guys. Thanks, Vanya.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.